Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. An interesting rack, good to have the S. V, W and Y don't go well together. I'm just wondering if there's a way of getting rid of all of them, and I don't think there is. So I'm going to play even for 30. Great, I have swooner. I don't think even takes an S, so as the board stands, I don't think I have my bingo as a playable one. How about the floaters? I don't think swoonery is good. Not seeing anything with the E. How about the V? Well, that remains available for oversown, so I think I do have a bingo. Great start for opponent. Imitated, which doesn't allow swooner. Let me just continue this exercise. So I have oversown. How about the E? Already considered. N. I would have the non-prefix. No. So how about the floaters in imitated? Wow, I have newsroom, but the M is in the wrong spot. Okay, I don't think anything is going to score more than this. So oversown for 73. And I have justify. Gosh, will that be playable? Such a shame about even not taking an S. And indeed oversown not taking an S. Rejustify is good, but no REs on the board. And I don't think this is going to make any alternative bingos. Yeah, opponent doesn't provide anything. Just checking evens, not good. Don't have to worry about that. So, wow, what a shame. That would have been such a cool start. JAS, not good. I have 4 problem tiles with this rack, F, J, U and Y. Well, what about playing justify through the I? Gets rid of all of those problem tiles and scores the best part of a bingo-y score. The only downside is that opponent may score well from the J, but it's so good to be getting rid of all these problem tiles. Now that's 56. I'm just wondering what it scores up here with the F tripled. Now that's also 56, and I didn't intend to commit to that. And I wouldn't have done because I am opening up column A, row A rather. I just misclicked at that point. One good thing about this positioning is that it's harder for opponent to score off the J. My pick is terrible. Absolutely awful. I do have an N for weenie. Doesn't score very much, but it's better than changing, and it totally sorts the rack out. That is so annoying. I wonder what I intended to click. Probably just the clock to put the move back on my rack. I think justify row D would have been quite a bit better. What a shame I can't use the top spot. Now, what about Dewey? 19 points. Wow, that's more than I was expecting. And weenie would burn off one more tile for 9 fewer points. I'm inclined to take that gamble. With EEI, I do have a floating N and T and R. Taco takes an S. Gosh, just ruining the lack of S hooks. Now there is one. I certainly can't do anything about this Y. Slightly dangerous with Dewey because there is an X to come. But I do like the score. Let me put this back. Is there somewhere even better for the W? And I was thinking about WE here. So I could play you. Now 27 points. Each time I leave an extra vowel, I seem to get an extra 8 or 9 points. Makes it very hard to decide how to make the correct decision. I don't like double E, double I. It's just too much. I think I'm going to go with Dewey for 19. Well, that has not worked out. However, I think I'll still be playing through this. I have a 50-point lead. I think that's going to vanish. So I've got UOI on my rack. And look at that, row A still not available for me. Surely opponent is going to take that. I have outlie through the T for almost nothing. UOI does play in column 2, but I don't like placing a vowel next to this triple word square. I really don't like any of the candidate plays I've seen so far. Wow, look at that. Both blanks, 88 points. Great bingo by opponent. And I now trail by 30. And I don't have anywhere for UOI that I like. Should I change? So I have outlie for 6, keeping double E. That's borderline. There are no blanks to try and get, which is frustrating, makes it harder to justify changing. What to do here? Only 11 for UOI and E. Phi takes nothing. Can't see anywhere great for Louis, or, well, what about here? That's 13 points. Not many tiles go next to the U, and it's keeping the board open, which I'd like to do since I'm behind. I am going with this. I draw the Q. Wow, with the V. How many U's to come? Just the one, and 4 I's. What to do with this rack? Should I be... Well, too early to think about changing, I think. Now, I do have Chi next to the I of drink. My H doesn't go next to the U. My E doesn't go next to the K, so triple word squares are out of action. Is there anywhere I can play H and V? Well, not that I can see, and I don't wish to leave the Q on my rack. I don't have any QU plays at the top. 13 minutes on my clock. There are 2 spots for the Q. 3 spots. Well, that's quite good. 2 I's next to double letter squares, and both of them would enable me to play Chi, so it really would be nice to play off H and V. How can I do that? Surely there is an HV play. No A for heave. Well, I have hive, which takes one of the Q spots, but it's 20 points. And there is the I of Louis. And if I draw the U, I would have queen. I can't see a way of doing any better than hive. And I do draw that I for chi and in. I also have sank on my rack. and chin. No S for tacos, 2 S's to come. Through, well, opponent goes in my Q spot. Through a U, I would have quercine. Opponent plays a U. What a shame that wasn't out in the open. So, do I just play QI? Quite tempting because this rack leave, not bad. Not far from a bingo. And I'm stopping opponent from scoring well in column 1. Admittedly, I am taking out a bingo lane, but there are lanes on the board. There's column 15, there's column 12, there's the floating N, and there's rows G and I, so there are a lot of bingo lanes. Am I sure I'm not missing a good sank spot? I do have an I for going next to the K. CUN not good. Okay, I'm not seeing a better Q spot. I am going with this. Okay, so this looks high probability. Do I have anything? I have Narcine in column 8, which will be a triple word square. Fantastic, surely that will remain available. Opponent must be drawn to column 15 or column 12. Those are the super hot spots. Column 8 is super disguised. Unless opponent's got a row G or I bingo. So, supposing Narcine is blocked. From a D, I would have D Racine. Is there a 7? Acerine not good. Yes, there is a 7. It's Cineria. That doesn't look like it plays anywhere. Gosh, so everything hangs with Narcine, which I also have in row N. I suspect one of those will remain available, but column 8 certainly a lot higher scoring. Now, opponent's played Rags for 26. Slightly concerning, he may have the other S in order to play off his S so cheaply. Narcine for 83. Bang! Back in the game, 305, 306. And this doesn't look too bad. But I'm not immediately seeing a bingo, but column 12 looks a pretty easy way of scoring some points. And what about column 15? That's remained open for quite a long time. Both my vowels go next to the K. But I'm not seeing anything. So, opponent's sitting there with the final S, I think. Row F is a 7-letter S lane. Well, I guess I am going to play column 12 if opponent doesn't take that spot, and I can play bowl there, leaving mad. I have gambol in column 11. What else? And is bowl the best I can do? What's better, bad or mad? Well, opponent does go there, which is good. He takes out his S lane. Maybe he doesn't have an S. Now, I can still play bowl, but that would be setting up... Well, let's see what I am setting up. I may be setting up something for myself. I have an M and D, which go next to op. B, D, P do. Well, they're not great tiles. Opponent isn't going to score a million points in that column. Well, I'm not scoring a million points either, just 24, but I'm retaining the M, so I should be able to score next turn. Now, I could play Allod in column 15. What did opponent get? 28 for hop. Still got the Z to come. That could be crucial. Any really hot Z spots on the board? No, not at the moment. I am, by playing bull, creating row H, but hard to get a high-scoring tile on the double letter square. I do have Allod in column 15, keeping BM. I think this is a much better rack leave. And the same score. And I think the mop possibility is also in favour of this play. Wow, that looks pretty good. Is there a bingo here? Possibly not with 2 A's. I'm certainly not seeing a 7. I don't think malated is good. So let me consider the floaters. Are there enough squares? Just. Okay, 29 for opponent, pretty good. Nothing with the R. C, no. E, no. I, nope. N, no. And E already considered, but 1 extra square to the left available. Wow, if I had 2 E's, I would have medalette. But I don't. Now, surely I now do play in column 15 because I've got a T for going next to Hun. So I can play Talma. 6 tiles left. This is really good, I think. It's 38 points, good rack leave. I'm not providing a good Z spot, and I am taking out a hot spot. I'm going with this. And I draw the Z, which is good. So I can see immediately I have Riz in red J. Oh, opponent's probably got a bingo. And, well, I suspect I haven't gifted him the only bingo lane. But we're dead level, and I don't think the Z... Yeah, there we go. Pandas for 78. Maybe I did gift my opponent the spot. So I trail by 70, just the O left. 74. This game has gone. And opponent is going out. So my only chance of winning is to bingo. And I think the only lanes are 7-letter lanes, and I don't have a 7-letter bingo. So I have Z in column 13 in 2 spots. 49 points at the top. And 41 lower down. Can I play in column 15? No. Gosh, so close to iridize. If my E was a 3rd eye, I would have that in column 12. So I am going to play here Z for 48. And opponent's just got the O and multiple spots for it. So, well, one will never know Justify was too early in the game to know whether it made the difference. But clearly, whenever you put a word in one spot rather than the other, you inevitably do affect the future progress of the game. And the final score, 415 for me, 455 for my opponent, a winning margin of 40 points, so well done to my opponent. Let's see what I missed. It was me to go first. And I had this rack. So Vaney was my play, keeping SW. Well, sorry, Yavin was my play. Yeah, well, I think that's fine. Opponent's rack. Wow. I was going to say Miss Bingo, but he spotted it. So, great start for opponent. And now Oversown gets me back into the game and was the only bingo. Opponent with the blank. No bingo. Plays a go. And here we go. These are the 2 Justify spots, and I misclicked and played where I didn't want to play. And the main reason is that this spot opens up row A. Opponent's rack, no bingo, plays taco, and look at that, he could have played GJU. And this is just awful. Just awful. So F7, that's what I thought about, but didn't like double E, double I. And I played Dewey for 8 fewer points, keeping DWEEB. Is that justified? Well, it's not really a matter of accurately valuing these. It's a matter of what difference does that extra I make. And it must be huge. A duplicate tile is at least 5, but in conjunction with increasing the number of vowels, I would say that there is at least an 8-point difference in these Rackley values. Yeah, and possibly a little bit more. So I played Dewey, and here we go. Great rack for opponent. He's got fatigue and takes a 40-point lead. I'm still struggling with vowels. And what do? I play Louis for 13, and I like that. Easily the best of the rack leaves on offer here. Opponent's rack plays a drink. And now, well, I don't like keeping Q and V, so what do? I play Hive for 20. Slightly more points in the plays above, but I don't like them because they all retain QV or HV. Well, yeah, maybe Chi for 22 points, C13. Yeah, just playing Chi and keeping triple E HNV, maybe HNV, maybe that would have been better. Opponent's rack plays Zoo for only 38 points, and now a trail. Sank C7. Because of Feis. Wow, that would have been nice, 34 points. I played Chi for 11, wow, so Sank definitely a better play. Opponent's rack, nice. Wow, let's go back and have a look at this. He did have both S's. Yep, so that was a reasonable deduction. And this is my rack, and this gets me right back in the game. Narcine for 83. And there's just 1 point between us. Opponent plays Hop. And E11 Bold for 26. What do? I played Bowl. Well, Bold definitely would have been better. Opponent's rack plays Nab. And here we go. I played Talma. And I'm just looking at the two options above. Would they have inhibited pandas? Well, no, I don't think either of them would have done. E15 and mated. Yeah, none of those plays would have stopped opponent's bingo. What if I had played bold instead of bowl? Then instead of this D, I would have an extra L. I don't think Malate is good with 2 L's, so I'm not seeing anything there. Okay, well, I think my play is fine, and opponent's play certainly is. Gosh, it is the only bingo. And then here we go. I need to bingo to win, and there is none. And I play Z for 48. And opponent's final rack, and he plays Or for 4. So, what a game. Quite unusual to misclick and play a word in the wrong spot. That hasn't happened for a jolly long time. And it wasn't a small difference, but I think it was a difference, and opponent was able to capitalise with fatigue. However, having said that, I did get right back into the game with Narcine, and then the game turned on a couple of key moments of playing Tolma and opponent having a playable bingo. So jolly exciting stuff, and close right down to the end. Once again, many congratulations to my opponent on the win, and thanks to him for a good battle. I hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.